Hey look everybody, it's just what nobody needed, another fat middle-aged beauty tuber. Welcome to my very first YouTube video. Well, actually, second attempt at a first YouTube video. See, I already filmed this all like a month ago, and I finally got around to watching the footage and realised it was complete shit. So I ditched it and I decided to do it again. So here we are. So welcome to my second attempt at my first YouTube video on my brand new YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you probably know me already, but if you don't, hi, I'm AJ. I started my makeup journey. That sounds so wanky, doesn't it? I started doing makeup at the beginning of the pandemic, just as something to keep me occupied, and who knew, it turned out I quite enjoy it. So here we are, far too many palettes later. If you told me 3 years ago that I would be starting a beauty channel on YouTube, I probably would have shaken you for a little bit just to make sure that you weren't having a stroke. And yet here we are. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for quite a long time. Once upon a time I had grand designs of doing video essay style content, which I might do eventually, but to be perfectly honest, I'm just not smart enough compared to everybody else that's doing that on YouTube. So this is what I'm okay at, so this is what I do. And I wanted to make videos I would want to watch, so it was a choice between doing incredibly well researched video essays or makeup. I just got a new microphone today. I apologise if the sound is not great. So today what I'm going to be doing is recreating one of my favourite makeup looks from the Star Wars The Old Republic character creator. It's a pretty iconic look because it's heavily inspired by the makeup of Queen Amidala in the Star Wars prequels, as you'll see here, but just, you know, mixed up a little bit. But anyway, so I'm going to recreate that look today, and I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, add my own sort of touches to make it a bit more boom. I'm going to be talking a little bit about all the products that I'm using today, because not only is this a get ready with me video, this is also kind of a favourites video. I want to show you the stuff that I use every day and that I love, and there'll be a list in the description of all the products I use, just in case you want to know. So to get started, I'm going to moisturise, and I'm going to use the INKEY List Omega Water Cream. And this is the only thing I've ever used that has settled nicely underneath my foundation, not left me feeling scratchy and crinkled and, you know what I mean, like bunched up newspaper kind of thing. I think one of the things I like most about INKEY List is that it is completely, all of it is completely fragrance free. None of it has got even the slightest residual smell. It doesn't have any footprint, you know, it just sits on your skin and makes you feel like you've just dipped your face in oil or something. Lovely and smooth. You know what this shit needs? Beer. Oh, all over me beer. Chin chin. And now I'm going to prime my eyes with the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. Once upon a time it had its credentials on the barrel, but they've just rubbed off because I use this so often. Despite the fact that the rest of my skin is quite dry, my eyelids are sort of combination, and I end up with like greasy down the bottom and then dry at the top. And this stuff is the only thing I've ever used that's compatible with both ends. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Nope, I still don't know what I'm doing. Don't leave your sponges like this, kids. It's disgusting. Don't recommend it at all. I haven't quite mastered the art of putting makeup on and talking at the same time. Multitasking, it's a thing. So I'm going to be using two colours today. I'm going to be using two different shades of eyeshadow today, and they're both from the BPerfect Carnival 3 Love Tahiti Stacy palette, which honestly is my go-to. It's the palette I reach for without even thinking about it. Like, it's always the first one I pick up, no matter what look I want to do. And the two shades I'm going to be using are Blackberry and Grape up here. So very fruity today. I'm just going to take the first colour on a sort of medium-sized fluffy brush and go around the sort of outside of where I want the shape to be. Is that straight? Who cares? Don't go in your hair. I've got hooded eyes, so I'm going to go quite far up towards the brow. I don't think those are even. Just keep going. Fix it in post. No, my editing skills aren't good enough for that yet. In theory, my editing skills should be quite good. I actually went to college for this shit, but that was in, like, the year 2000. And, the technology has moved on somewhat since then. The last time I walked into an edit suite, we were still using tape. Like VHS tape. Yeah, I'm that old. Feel free to leave me a comment telling me I'm too old to be on YouTube, by the way. So I'm going to take that same colour and go underneath. And I'm going to smoke it out quite far. Because I want it to look sort of big. Oh. You know, it's a really good idea if you get the crust out of your eyes before you start doing your makeup. So professional. The good thing about really smoking out underneath your eye, it takes attention away from your eye bags and wrinkles. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. And this is a shade Grape, by the way. This is a sort of berry. I'm doing my eyes first before I do my foundation, because this way if I fuck up with my eyeshadow, it means I don't have to take my makeup off and then put it back on again after I've already done it. Are they even? They look even. I think they look even. What is that? Excuse me while I just inspect the thing that came out of my mouth. I think it's food. Oh fuck. No, not a clue. Never mind. So now I'm going to go in with the darker of the two shades, Blackberry, and I'm going to go in around the socket. Deepen it up, and then I will blend them into one another, in theory. I don't like this brush. This brush is not doing what I want it to do. Let's get a different brush. That's better. Yep, still can't quite figure out how to talk and do makeup at the same time. What is going on there? Made a bit of a mess there. Let's go back in with the other colour, the lighter colour. I think I'm going to bring in a third shade. I'm going to bring in a really bright pink to sort of smoke it out with. Because it's not very blended on the original, but I want to do it better. I want to do it better than they did. I mean, it's on a human face, which I suppose is an improvement, but... So we're just going to take this tiny brush and bring this darker shade down along the lid slightly. Close your fucking mouth, you're not a fish. I need to learn when I'm filming a video that if I'm going to open my mouth, I need to make words come out of it rather than just sitting there going. I'm going to go in again to a different shade. I'm going to go with this pink lily here, which is a sort of fluorescent pink. And just go around the outside just to, I really want to sort of smoke it out and make it glow. And I think this is the way to do it. Yeah, that was the right choice. Oh, I'm so sorry for all the sniffles. I was doing it absolutely fine. And then all of a sudden, spring. Raise your hand if you've ever felt personally victimised by spring. Blend that up at the top. That's right underneath my brow. And I'll blend that out a little bit more, but not until I've put my foundation on. Okay. Something about the shape of my brow that makes it look like it's got a dent in it when I blink. Not quite sure why. But I always forget that it does that until after I've done my makeup and I can't see it. Bring that darker shade in now. There's cat hair on my brush. There was cat hair on my brush. I think if I was only allowed to use one shade of eyeshadow ever again for the rest of my life, it would be a magenta-y pink, magenta-y purpley pink. Kind of like this is coming out. Who doesn't love pink? That's a silly question. Lots of people don't love pink. I love pink. Once again, I'm just going to take that fluorescent pink, just use it to smoke out along the top. Oh, I just love how it glows. Oh, it's gone a bit blocky now, hasn't it? Okay, hold on. Right, just blend that out. It's got much harsher lines on the original, but I don't like harsh lines particularly, so I'm not going to be doing that. I tell you what, it's looking a lot better than the first time I did it. Ugh. When will I learn? Oh, I made a mess. Definitely should have put some foundation underneath that first. Okay, I'm going to leave the eyes for a bit. Going to put my foundation on, and then I'm going to go back in and make sure I'm happy with where all the colour placement is, and I'm going to smoke it out a bit more over the top of the foundation. So let's go. My concealer is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate, which again, great for dry skin and cheap as well. Oh no. This is what happens when you don't clean up your fallout properly before you put your concealer on. Let's try that again, shall we? It's better. Right, and now I look like somebody's drained all the blood out of my face. It's time to put some colour back into it. My go-to foundation is the L'Oreal True Match. Because again, it's great if you've got dry skin. It's nice and hydrating, but it's still relatively matte. It's not super matte. It's like, it's impossible. No, it's not impossible. I'm quite sure it's possible to get... Where is my foundation brush? It's honestly my favourite foundation that I've used, because... No, try that again. It's a really good budget foundation. Not only can you get it literally anywhere, you walk into a Boots or Superdrug and you can get it anywhere, and it's got a really decent shade range by comparison to a lot of other high street foundations. And yeah, I just get on with it really well. It's a good, like, basic. It doesn't do any, there's no bells and whistles. It does what it says on the tin. It's a medium to full coverage foundation. Colour matching was easy. It feels nice, it goes on nice, it stays on nice, it doesn't oxidize. I mean, really, what more do you want out of a basic foundation? So yeah, I tend not to build it up too much. I like a more medium to light coverage, because I like my skin to look like skin. But also, I quite like my moles. And I like that they don't disappear completely under my foundation. Blend that bitch. So now I've done my face, I'm just going to go underneath again a little bit with the brighter pink and just make it pop. You can tell I've been spending too much time on YouTube because I start saying all the things that YouTubers say. Smash that motherfucking like button. Give it concussion. I'm pretty happy with the colour. I'm pretty happy with the depth. I think it's time to do the scary bit. I don't know if you can hear it, but my cat is whistling. He snores. Only he doesn't snore, he whistles. It would be cute if I wasn't filming a video. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun bit. And I'm definitely not going to be able to talk while I'm doing this. Ah, this is very scary. so I'm just going to take a tiny, it's a brow brush actually, and just fill that in. That looks pretty good. Now I have to do it on the other side, which is, yeah, slightly more complicated. At least when I'm doing the first side, it doesn't really matter if I get it in the wrong place, because I just make it do the other side to match. But I can't do that when I'm doing the second side. Yeah, I think I've got the shape right. So go in with the tiny brush again. I think that's pretty good, all things considered. So in my waterline, I'm going to use the, again, this is another product I've used so much that the prints come off this barrel. So you actually can't tell what it is. I know what it is. It's the Rimmel 2-in-1 holographic liner in Purple Prism. And I'm just going to use that in my waterline. Close your fucking mouth, you're letting the flies in. I'm just going to do a really quick liner in black, and this is the Wing Woman by the Beauty Crop. I've only just started using this, but I really like it. I'm just going to do my eyebrows quickly. This is the She Glam 2-in-1, and it has this super tiny little, and then on the other side it's got this beautiful little flick. It's basically a dupe for the Colourpop flick, this one, and only costs $2.99. So if you were looking to try the Colourpop one but you can't afford it, I highly recommend this one. It's really, really good. It's the perfect colour. For me, I wear taupe. Let's just fill in a bit. I used to mock people who would overpluck their eyebrows and then fill them in. I'm sorry I ever did that. I know why people do it now, because it means you can put them back on in exactly the right place. And take this wide floof, just add a bit more to that pink. Alright, so I think that's my eyes done, apart from I'll do mascara at the end. So let's move on to the lip now. So to start my lip, I'm going to use the Murlocs Lock Lip Primer, and this is so cheap. I think I got this off this tube off of eBay for £2, but I've seen it in the pound shop before, and it is honestly the nicest lip primer I've ever used. And then I'm just going to white out, or foundation out my lower lip. I'm going to do a quick outline on my top lip, and then I'm going to use a liquid liner to mark out where I want the lipstick to go on the lower lip. Oh, this lip liner is in fact eyeliner, by the way. I use it because it's just a few shades darker than my actual lip colour, which means I can use it at every lip colour. And it just blends in really nicely. Just position. Oh, that's really dark. it'll be right. The shape's right, at least, so that's a good start. The lipstick I'm using is the Lime Crime Velveteens in Scandal, and I actually picked this up second-hand off of a Facebook group, unused, but pre-purchased, for £3, and these are like £17.99. And they're really nice lipsticks. They have a really odd sort of, they have an odd taste to them, but it's not bad. It's kind of like, it's really hard to describe. It's almost like chocolate, but it's alright. Definitely can't talk while doing lipstick. Not without sounding like a twat. And now I'm going to sit like this for a bit, so it'll dry off. Okay, I'll do a second coat anyway though. Unfortunately, I think a small amount of transfer on my bottom lip is going to be inevitable, because I'm not very good at this. I think that's pretty good. Time to put a little bit of colour back. Oh my god, I've got a cat hair stuck to my head. Oh no! Ah! Fuck. Oh, it's gone. Good. I don't really use bronzer, I just use a sort of browner shade of blush because I'm cheap. Oh look, it's another Revolution product. This is my blush. I only really use 2 shades up here. I use this one and this one typically. Because I just can't wear pink. I can't wear anything that's too pink toned. It makes me look, it makes the rest of my skin look yellow. I'm going to go with the W7 Glow-Commotion Pink It Up highlighter, because I think that'll be nice with it. It's sort of a rose gold pink. Just pop it right under there. That's nice. And a little bit on the brow line. And I'm actually going to take the other one of these W7 highlighters, the Prism shade, and I'm going to use it as an inner corner highlight. Nice. And finishing off with my mascara, which is the Wet n Wild Mega Slim. I have really short, really thin eyelashes, and if I try and use the volumizing mascaras, they end up really, it just sticks to itself and clumps up. But the skinny ones, oh my god, because I need to build it up. I need to build it up so slowly. I considered attempting false lashes for this, but considering the last time was, well, I'll probably upload it at some point. You can be the judge of how well I managed that. There's still a lot of things about makeup that I'm learning. I'm very, very new at this in the grand scheme of things. Before 2 years ago, I wore makeup maybe twice a year, at the absolute most. Job interviews, weddings. It's not like I had no social life. Like, I used to go out, I used to go to the pub, I used to go clubbing. I just didn't bother wearing makeup. I think I was a little bit intimidated. My first experience of clubs really was at goth clubs, and you walk into a goth club and everybody's just got this most amazing makeup, you know, that looks like it took them 3 days and half a can of black spray paint, and I just thought, I can't compete with that, so I didn't bother. Just, you know, whack on a little bit of black eyeliner and Bob's your uncle. Bit of frosted lip gloss because it was 2002 we're talking about. And with that, we are done. So we'll look at a side by side. And there we have it. There's the finished look. I think I did a pretty good job of mimicking it, maybe even elevating it a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? I'm not entirely sure what eventual direction this channel will take, but for the time being I'm going to be doing Get Ready With Me's. I'm going to be talking about makeup. I might even talk a little bit more about video games as well. This was kind of an intersection of the two, but again, I just don't think I'm smart enough to talk about video games. I'm also not good enough at video games. So if you like the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Follow if you want to see more like this. Be more makeup. Definitely be more makeup. Might be a bit more video games. Might be a bit of both. Might be some other stuff. I don't really know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, I hope tomorrow's better. Take it easy. Bye.